Okay, so here's a big piece of cottonwood bark that I got from Richard at Choose Your Own Path. Okay, he sells this stuff, guys. I think this is like a $10 piece. I think. Don't hold me to it, but you can see it's pretty thick. It's from Manitoba, Manitoba, Canada. He sells this stuff, so look up his YouTube page. He has videos on this bark that he sells. I think he does ship to USA, but talk to him about it. He's also got a Facebook page, Choose Your Own Path. Get a hold of him. I'll leave a link in the description below. So what I'm going to carve today, guys, I know it's cheesy as hell. Okay, you don't have to tell me it's cheesy, but I'm going to carve 3 jack-o'-lanterns, all like a little tower of little jack-o'-lantern pole on top of each other, okay? I know I'll be able to sell it for 30 or 40 bucks. So what I'm going to do to clean out the outside of this bark is use this Kutzall. Again, guys, all my carving burrs are mostly Kutzalls. This Kutzall 1/4" extreme burr. It's kind of worn out. It's like half a year old now. It's time for me to get a new one. In my Fordham industrial flex shaft. This is the industrial model, guys, on a normal SR series. Look at my playlist. I have videos on switching to the industrial. You have to get to the new handpiece too. Not just the flex shaft, but the new handpiece as well. Look at my playlist. Okay, so then I got a Dremel 4300, and I have my little Kutzall 1/8 flame burr extreme on here too. These are my carving burrs, guys. This is always I love the flame burrs. It's my go-to carving burrs. Once again, Dremel 4300 flex shaft. So what I'm going to do right now is clean up this outside with this big sucker. Because the outside of this bark is hard. I don't know if I already said that. I'm having a problem talking today. Yep. Okay, as you guys can see, I got the outside cleaned up. It took me 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do here is always draw a center line. Center line's a good habit to get into, guys, in my opinion. Everything's in my opinion, okay? I'm just a beginning carver just like you guys. So, then you want to, I don't even know what I'm doing here. You want to mark off each section for the pumpkins. So here's one here, the bottom one. So that'll be a pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so here's one. Scribble out your lines. Here's another one. And here will be another one. Okay, scribble out your lines. Okay, so our top pumpkin. So let's just put it in the round sides here. Okay. So you know you're carving a friggin' pumpkin. Okay, so 1, 2. Bring this one down a little bit farther so they're all. So 1, 2, 3. Scribble out the lines that you don't want to use so you remember not to cut them. So here's the top for the pumpkin. Cheesy as hell, guys. Don't need to tell me, but I'll sell this. 40 bucks probably. Okay, so let's start carving. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carve out on the outside of these lines, okay, with my Dremel, on all the outside of the lines, okay, all on the outside, and then I'm going to feather away the cuts. So these pumpkins are raised higher than this outside wood here, okay? So we'll start at that. Then sooner or later I got to cut in here and round. We'll do one step at a time, guys. One step at a time. Okay, here you can see I got my pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, whatever you want to call them. They're all raised above now, okay? I did the cuts and I feathered away all this stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to round the pumpkins off. So 1, 2, 3, okay? I'm going to cut in between here and I'm going to round those off. Not as deep as this, but I'm going to cut a little bit and round it off so it looks like the bottoms are rounded off and the tops are rounded off. And see how I cut this stem back? Because the stem's not on the very front of a pumpkin, right? So round everything off. And I've also decided I'm going to carve a little pumpkin in the bottom here too. This cottonwood bark, it's good to leave lots of the old outside of the bark on. It gives it that rustic look. You know what I mean? Who cares if it looks shaly? It makes it look cooler, I think. My opinion. So let me do that. So round everything off. Round up here. Round that top. Round that bottom. Top, bottom. Round everything off, and I'll carve this little pumpkin in. Okay, there you can see I got them all rounded off to as good as I want. You guys, you got to remember, we're not carving goddamn spaceships or like, I don't know, to the moon ship, rocket ships, okay? Bottom one's in there. We're having fun. These are simple carving projects to get you familiarized with your handpiece. That's the most important part, and I keep on saying it. Okay, so there's the base of our pumpkins, also known as a block out. So now let's put our little pumpkin lines in. Let's put our little pumpkin lines in here. Okay, so leave room for your face, guys. So here's a little pumpkin. And when you're doing the lines, try and offset the line. So there's going to be a face here, and then I'm going to move the face over here a bit. You know what I mean? I'm offsetting them. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, so that face is going to be centered. This one's going to be facing that way, and this one's going to be facing that way. And this guy, well, he'll just be centered. Okay, whatever. So those will be our pumpkin lines. Carve these really shallow, guys, really shallow. So, actually, okay, here, let me draw on the faces. No, I'm not going to draw on the faces, step by step. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to use my good old roto zip. You can buy these at Home Depot. This is 1/8, a wall tile roto zip bit. I'm going to use this to cut real shallow in these lines, feather them out so it's kind of a little bit rounded on the edge. So you can cut this way and then cut this way. It's up to you, but just cut these lines in so you know that they're goddamn lines. Yep. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to use this Kutzall bit, because it's already tapered, so when I carve in the line, carving the lines, it will already be spread out. So just watch this. I won't even turn my fan on. Cut it out a bit. Oh man, my Dremels, this last Dremel I got starting to make some funny noises. Okay guys, there, look, that's all you need to do. Not a rocket ship, not a goddamn rocket ship. Okay, so I'll finish this. Okay, so I've had a good break. I've looked at pumpkins and yeah, they kind of look like pumpkins. I don't know. Yep. So, rounded them off. So let's draw on the faces now. And I really got to decide on what carving burr I'm going to use. This is this is why it's good for everybody to have lots of different types of carving burrs, because I'm going to have to use something real small here. Like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, I'll figure it out. Maybe it'll be something on pinhead. But yeah, okay, so I'll draw on the faces and then carve in the faces. Okay, so I think it's going to be happy, mutual, and sad. So just kind of put your center lines in where you want to. I have to anyways. So I'll start off with the nose here. Okay, and we'll give this guy kind of these kind of eyes. I don't know, maybe you do work for NASA. Maybe you do carve spaceships. I don't. Okay, so this guy's going to be happy. Kind of evil looking grin there thing. Okay. Where's my center line here? This guy is going to be neutral. So we'll just give this guy kind of normal looking pumpkin face. Okay. Then this guy is going to be sad. Or grumpy. Like Grumpy Jesse. There actually is a Grumpy Jesse. My buddy at work, I call him Grumpy Jesse. Okay, so here's Grumpy Pumpkin. Put the nose in. And how do we make his eyes grumpy? These are just reference lines, guys. Like I said. Look at Grumpy Pumpkin. Oh yeah, okay, what about this guy? Let's just give him, let's make this guy, give him the typical pumpkin eyes. Typical pumpkin nose, but we'll make him confused pumpkin. Okay, as long as you're having fun doing your carvings, guys, give her. So I'll cut straight in on these lines, carve all this stuff out, and then after what I'll do is I'm going to paint inside these lines black. I think, maybe. Okay, so let's paint inside the eyes of the pumpkin just with this paint. This stuff's not dollar store, it's actually metallic, but it's all the black I have. And I don't feel like going to the dollar store right now. So once again, custom carving fusion paint trays, guys. If you want to buy one of these, I'll sell them for $5,000. Just send me an email. Okay, so let's get, let's get inside these eyes painted. You guys, these are just quick little silly carvings, so you don't have to paint it perfect. And don't worry about painting on the outside too, because it's all going to be sanded off, right? And then we'll paint it orange. Pumpkin's orange. And this is just dollar store paintbrush too, guys. Throwaways for me. I don't have time to sit there and, first of all, I don't want to buy expensive paintbrushes when I'm hard on shit. And second of all, I don't have time to clean them. I might wash this one quickly though for the orange. Painting the orange. Okay, so let me get these done and we'll move forward. Okay, so I got all the black painted in. You know, like down the pumpkin lines, the pumpkin lines too. So I'm just gonna wait for this stuff to dry, and then I'll give it a sanding. Sand all the black off the edges, like right in here. Sand all that away, and then I'll paint it orange with this just paint I had lying around. Alright, yep. Okay, the paint's dry enough for me for the pumpkins. It looks wet, but that's metallic paint. I didn't have any normal paint. So what I'm going to do is run around with my little flap sander thing and clean it up. Turn your dremel down to do this, guys. Okay? Okay, so I got this, I was up at the dollar store earlier. I found some orange paint, okay? I put a touch of black in it just to make it a bit darker. And a dollar store paintbrush. So now I'm going to paint these pumpkins, okay? God damn pumpkins. And you guys, you know, like, Halloween's cool. My favorite time of the season. But, like, it's cheesy. So I think it's okay to carve some cheesy pumpkins. And if you don't like these cheesy pumpkins, well, you can just go away. So, go away. And another thing, I'll be able, this is a 20-minute carve if I wasn't filming. And I'll be able to sell this pumpkin for maybe 40, 50 bucks. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to finish painting these things and we'll get back to you. Okay, so all the little pumpkins are painted. Okay. I'm going to run around and sand up the edges where I overshot the paint a bit here. And maybe scuff up the faces a bit so you can see some, they look older. Sand them a bit. And then I'm going to spray it with this epoxy shield stuff. Okay. So that's my next move. Okay, so I got the pumpkins painted. I scuffed them up with sandpaper to make them look antiqued, kind of. I sprayed with that stuff. Some of it's not dry there yet. But I forgot when I was doing this cottonwood bark that it kind of goes orange color. So I don't know if the pumpkins blend in with the orange and if I want to paint it black behind there. How can you be serious about a piece like this, guys? You know what I mean? You know, just like I was, how can you be serious about forgetting to put the eye in carving? I wasn't, so I put the eye in after. Well, I tried to do it, but I screwed up. So who cares? Have fun. That's what it's about. Having a good time. Healing yourself. Letting yourself go and open your imagination. So let's see what I decide to do with this piece. Give me a few minutes here. I think it needs to be painted black in there. Okay. It's much more cheesy now. Look at this guy. He's the grumpy one. He's like looking up. He's like looking up over this way. Much more cheesy. Now give me a few minutes and I'll make it way more cheesy. Okay, so I think this piece is pretty well done. It's the cheesy pumpkin carver. Yeah, so I seen this hot, super smoking hot chick today uptown. She's like, "Oh my God, Jordy, where have you been? What have you been up to?" And I said, "Well, not too much. Carving pumpkins." Carving pumpkins? Yeah, carving pumpkins. There's straight up cheese for you, people. Mr. Pumpkin Carver. You don't really see the lights too well when the lights are on here, but let's see if I can kind of... There you go. How's that for cheese? I'm going to go downstairs, make a grilled cheese sandwich. Hope everybody's good. And I hope I've set example that I, Jordy Johnson, don't give a fuck. Dollar store lights, guys. Gotta love them. Gotta love them.